let's talk about the Sonic movie 2. Spoilers! So there's a lot of details that I know I'm missing, but this isn't supposed to be a full-on review. This is just supposed to be like a first impression kind of thing. So, you know. So, I'm not really sure where to begin, so I'll just start at the beginning of the movie, but Knuckles has three guys working with him that Eggman kind of like just Three Stooges defeats, and then Knuckles and Eggman just leave those three people, and Knuckles is the guy that complained about Eggman not being loyal to friendship and stuff. Just confusing. There's a lot of things in this video like that. Don't get me wrong, the movie was good, but the first one was way better. The second movie was okay. So once again, Jim Carrey saves the movie. Every part that he wasn't in wasn't that entertaining. And the way they introduced Tails was a little weird. Apparently he was watching him from space and just now decided to come in and help. So that's a little weird. So at one part in the movie, Sonic and Tails reenact that opening tutorial kind of scene in Red Dead Redemption 2 where it's just a lot of snow and they go to a cabin because there's lights there and they're freezing. There they do like a dance-off fight thing, and when they start, Tails and Sonic are just falling over each other because they pretty much just met. But as soon as they change the music, they are, synchronized and everything. It's a complete 180. It was a little much. The scenes with Knuckles was pretty good. Nothing really to complain about, honestly. And the times he acts dumb is reasonable because he's not exposed to the norms or the technology that we are. So I think it worked pretty well. My favorite scene was when he was threatening to defeat the robots, only to learn they were simply stairs. The other character to save the movie was, I forget her name, but she was the bride-to-be. Her reaction to everything was just great. It made me smile to know that she wanted pure vengeance, as she should. So Stone makes a return, not the boulder, but the actual guy. And he seems a little bit more infatuated with Robotnik than before. Not the direction I was expecting. Not bad, just not expecting it. Kind of curious to see where this goes. And then there's Sonic, who's, in my opinion, annoying, but he was annoying in the first movie, and I've always found him annoying, so meh. Good job at keeping the status quo, I suppose. And then the final character, the Emerald. So, the Chaos Emerald in the games is supposed to work like a control switch of sorts. You'll have the Chaos Emeralds acting like a battery, and while the Master Emerald can work like that, it can also turn off the other emeralds and negate their power. Here it's the exact opposite. Basically, again, spoilers, they had, in the past, shoved the 7 emeralds into a bigger emerald to act as a catalyst to use all 7 at the same time. So I even introduced the other 7 emeralds. And at one part, the Master Emerald shatters, but Knuckles immediately puts it back together. I guess it was to show that the 7 emeralds are in there. They're tiny, by the way. But at the same time, it's like, why? That feels like an extra layer of stuff in the movie that just wasn't needed. Unless they're setting it up for something else in the next movie. And then there was Gun. It was nice to see Gun. Lots of Gun. I just wish Gun knew how to use their guns, and not just their tasers. So, there's also a lot of little holes in the story. Like, when Eggman and Knuckles get to the island after using the compass, they use a warp ring, but it's not explained as to where they got these warp rings. Did they steal them from Sonic? Did Knuckles still have some left over? Where did Knuckles get them to begin with? The opening scene, again, there's just a lot of questions that are left unanswered. And we've learned something during the final climactic battle of the whole movie. Sonic is Eggman's groin. Eggman has blue balls. So one of the plot holes in the movie was the whole wedding bit was just an elaborate plan or ruse to capture Sonic. But there's one problem with that. Two, technically. In the first movie, the general that knows of Sonic is told that he's gone. So why would he continue to think he's here? And the second problem is, why did they need the wedding to capture him? They had no idea he'd be there or how he would arrive, but they were all ready to jump and spring the trap. It didn't quite make sense. And then there's the post-credits scene. So I made a prediction before, and I'm not even half right. I was only a quarter right. But in my defense, what they did does not add up. So, here's some more Sonic lore for you. So Shadow in the games was created by a gun, by Robotnik's grandfather, blah blah blah. You know, it takes time to make this thing. So in the movie, they discover there's files on Robotnik's system buried deep in the thing, showing that he knows about Project Shadow that's been in development for 50 years. Sonic's only been around for 2-3 years? How's that possible? It doesn't add up. Glad to see Shadow going to be in it, but it doesn't add up. There was also this other scene that didn't make sense where all the gun people just surround the Mean Bean Machine, even though they have no idea where Eggman is. And if anything, they've been alluded to him being on an island somewhat near Hawaii and not in Central America. So why are they there? Knowing he's there? The other plot hole I noticed was, I get why they did it, because they needed to push Tails onto Sonic. But he said like how he doesn't have any friends, so he left his home planet to go find Sonic and be the exposition and the plot device to push things forward. But at the same time, it's just like, you make a lot of inventions and you've been able to spy on someone from across the galaxy and no one's your friend because you have an extra tail. Something's wrong here. Also, I know the couple that harbor Sonic have a dog. So now they have the dog, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. They have 4 pets. There was also the part where Robotnik got superpowers. Not sure how I feel about that. I know a lot of fan things to it, and I know the Fleetway comics touch on it a few times, but it's weird seeing it in action. And then why does he make a giant robot when he already has unlimited power is beyond me. And I was thinking, while he's holding this emerald to do all these magic power things, where is he holding it? Because he's not physically holding it. Where is it? Knuckles proved me right. He had it in his butt. The other thing that was weird was Sonic touches the map that he had in the first movie, and it activates this hologram to, more exposition and, push the plot forward, which I get, but why is it just now working? Because someone's going to say, like, he touched a certain part of the map, and that's what activated. No, he's been touching all over that map for the first movie and then the second movie, and he's been touching it between the 2 movies. It's like, why is it now activated? The other thing I don't get was the sheriff in charge at the time went to the Mean Bean Machine to get some coffee, found the shop was closed, so he forces his way in and arrests Stone under what charges? And starts interrogating him because he was closed? That didn't make any sense to me. Stone didn't break any laws that he knew of. So I don't think any of them were unnecessary, except for the temporary sheriff that tried to arrest Stone. Like, that whole bit was not needed. It was interesting to see what Stone was doing with his free time, but not necessary at all. But outside of that, I think most characters were used, or rather used in a meaningful sense. Well, I think that's it for today's little mini review with spoilers. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go get my eyes checked because everything just suddenly turned red. Coming for you, little hedgehog. whatever it was.